yourself with baby, right? No. And so, I caught that reference. Good. All right. So basically, you've got to temper it. You have to manage that, and yeah, listen for the cash register ringing is what I call it, which is the life events that trigger. People buy and sell real estate because of life events. So if you're paying attention and listening to the cash register ring, you can pick up on them. You can be aggressive or subtle or whatever your style is, but you need to pursue that, and you always have to ask for the order, otherwise you're not going to get anything.
Well, I was just going to say, there are a lot of people in my office really using social media a lot and try to get speakers in talking about what to do with myself. I've worked on trying to get the best picture of myself, and I've given up. I'm not big on it.
You can't improve on perfection, right?
Yeah. No, it was the other direction. But I have 3 daughters and my wife and 3 son-in-laws, and they're huge, and they're constantly going back and forth. I don't have the time, I really don't, and I think you can spend your life in front of that screen, and you need to get out from behind it. Get out.
Yeah, or you put it on a timer, because I think that's kind of what Joe is saying, in a sense. I mean, if you limit your time, you go, okay, I'm going to jump on Facebook, I'm going to follow my leads, I'm going to do what I need to do, touch the people I need to touch. I'm going to put it on for 15 minutes. I know when it rolls off, I didn't go, I need to move on to something else. That could be part of your lead generation, depending upon. And before we move on, Dennis, is there what other social media outlets other than Facebook and LinkedIn are your agents utilizing? Anything else that's kind of up and coming?
But what I believe is the rage right now, I think it's just getting started, and I don't think we've even tapped into even a quarter of what it can be, and that's videos. You guys get on videos everywhere. Have your own video YouTube sites, and Facebook, and LinkedIn, and wherever you can. Send video messages to your clients. I think all this tied together is going to be critical to you.
You got to really do it.
Yeah. And Nate will attest that Nate and myself, obviously, drank the Kool-Aid a long time ago. In my opinion, social media is part of your lead generation. You guys know I ran my high school reunion, and I was kept through there. People started seeing it. Next thing you know, I get business from it. So I already sold a few houses from putting on that event. You guys know I'm into cars. I put a lot of car stuff up, and it's just being on top of mind and in front of people. And it's incredible, because if I see people from high school I haven't seen for a few years, I mean, the first thing out of their mouth, hey, how's it going? Cool. How's business? Cool. You're paying attention. And it's awesome. I don't have to beat them over the head. They know it. But go ahead, Edel. I definitely want to hear your take on it.
Well, I think you're saying what I just wanted to point out, and that is that everyone in this room is a salesperson. And as salespeople, what we do very well, hopefully, is network. And social media is just another form of networking. Keep that in mind. If you use it just as something to pass the time because you're bored, you're not networking, you're wasting time. And just like email has replaced letters and handwritten notes, social media has obviously replaced, a personal phone call or other forms of contact, but it is still networking, and that's what we want to keep in mind and do it carefully, as someone pointed out, like you would at a cocktail party.
The only thing that I want to add is everyone should have a business Facebook page and a personal Facebook page. We set up a business page that my sons constantly load with articles, Danville, the car show, and we linked it into our website. So if someone goes to our business Facebook page and they see an article about a car show in Danville and they click on that, that article opens up in our website. So now the only reason that I'm like Dennis and Jerry, except I have 3 sons that work with me in their 20s. That's the only reason that we've been able to embrace technology like we have. It's kind of like when my one son joined and I emailed him and he texted me back And then I called him and he texted me back. And then I said, listen, if I call you, you call me back. If a client calls you, you call him back. If he texts you, text him back. If he emails you, email him back, and get on their level. And that's a good rule that I teach my sales agents, and I have to teach my sons coming out of college.
Perfect. Okay.
One last thing, we keep stats all the time, and our website at sotheby'srealty.com, I can tell you that the third largest feeder of people who go to that website is Facebook. So that to me tells me that social media is there, it's alive, it works. You just kind of have to find your voice and how to utilize it as best you can, and however that is for you.
So, thank you guys. That's awesome. Hold on, looks like I got plenty more. Old school. What still works?
You know, the only thing I'll add with the since we're just off the technology and talking about is, I can't stress enough, you know, and I heard this saying a long time ago, high tech will never replace high touch. All it does, all of this Facebook and website and everything we're talking about should just be to create more high touch opportunities. And so that's really, the high touch is really old school. And all these other things are just to give you more high touch opportunities.
Going back as far as old school, I think Jerry already said it. Everything's working. Door knocking.
But what specifically? Yeah, that's what people want to hear.
Door knocking, farming. I mean, there's technology in the farming business. I mean, there's algorithms out there, predictive analytics that you can spend a lot of money doing, but trust me, Fortune 500's doing it. It obviously works. It's the same reason why you're looking at a pair of shoes at Nordstrom's. I'll give a personal example. And then on Facebook the next day, there are those shoes at Nordstrom's, and you go, oh my God, how the hell did that happen? It was paid that way. You can do that yourself if you are so inclined. And trust me, there are agents that are going to be doing it. There are agents that are already doing it. There's a company down in Pleasanton that's been around since 2009 that's already doing it nationwide. So even though we have new technology coming into and helping us with the old school stuff. I mean, as we said, social media is just another form of communication. I always say that the nice thing in the real value of social media, and I'll date myself here by saying, everybody remember the Fabergé commercial? Anybody? Where you got the Fabergé shampoo, where it's like, Fabergé shampoo, blah, 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 whatever. It's so fantastic. I told two friends, and they told two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. Well, that's the whole beauty of social media. It's just the ease and simplicity of the sharing. You know, when you had a good book, you gave it to somebody. Now you can send them a link to the ebook for it. Or if you had you wanted to tell somebody about a great restaurant, you might send them the link to the Yelp. Or you might write your own review yourself and post it on your page. That's all that this social media does. It actually eases our job, but the disintermediation, us going away, is not going to happen. They've already tried it. There's still people out there trying it today. But as Joe pointed out, it happens in the kitchens. All the business, in the dining rooms and such, it's all a personal business and it's all that personal touch. We just have an easier way to communicate, and we have new mediums to do it.
And I still have a couple of questions for you guys, so we'll make them a little bit tighter on the answers you guys get. So what's still working old school wise?
Well, I actually think that some of the old-fashioned ways of doing things have a higher impact these days. When you sit down and write someone a personal note, I think that has real high impact. Or you pick up the phone and call an old friend or associate and tell them you're thinking of them and ask them about themselves and their family. That has very high impact. I get amazed responses when I sit down and do those things, and I think that it's something just to keep in mind in today's world.
Oh,
Every day. I try to make a phone call or write a personal note every single day. I try to make it quality, high quality.
Things, and I always remember one of the ladies put a beautiful sailboat, yacht, up on her wall. And after a few years, she bought a 39-foot Pearson, and we got to go sailing in the bay. And that's what's so incredible about this business is you start out in it and you go, God, I really want to be like Joe Carey, or I want to be like Greg, or whatever. And all of a sudden, you've achieved that level. And so what you have to do is really look to where you want to be, really spend the time of what pushes your button.
We'll just say yes or no, okay? And then we won't get into it because I just want to hear this one. Are personal websites relevant anymore?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I give a caveat? Say blog?
Maybe,
Blog?
Blog? Okay. So it's still
So
kind of
it's a semi-yes.
maybe.
in any form, yes.
Young agents, are they coming into the business? If they're not, what's scaring them away? I mean, what's attracting them? If they are coming.
Yes, they are. They are different a little bit, but Jerry said it. It's all about commitment. I have a philosophy of hiring probably somewhat similar to Jerry's, and I hire attitude. That's it. I don't motivate you. I might inspire you. I hope I can. But I hire attitude. We just recently hired two newer agents, one of which is 23 years old. And if you want to talk about social media, he had an open house where he posted his open house on Instagram, had over almost 1,000 likes on Instagram, and I was blown away by that. But then I found out he has over 107,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow. Did you hear that right? Just want to make sure you guys are tuned in. Just want to make sure.
That's a challenge to all of you to get 107,000.
What's his pay? He's also a stripper. No, I'm kidding.
That's funny.
Evelyn?
If they come into a family team, they're in pretty good shape. They can mature under the mentorship of the family. But if they come in and try to make it alone, I've seen a high failure rate. I love the...
Two little babies and a pregnant wife, and
That's
she
all
wasn't
motivation.
working. Yeah. But I think today, to be successful, you have to have a tremendous amount of energy. You're dealing with people, an average buyer is 37 years old, and you say, oh, well, not in this area. Bull. The people that are buying the multi-million-dollar homes are like in their early 40s, late 30s. So and they don't want to deal with old people that are real slow. They want to deal with upbeat people that obviously look like they know what they're doing and have a proven track record, and they're going to check on you as well. So I really like new people a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, just very quick, I did all that. Everyone that's been on my team is, through the last 20 years, has been a brand new agent, and in most cases a younger agent, which I think is an advantage because they don't have all the negativity, baggage, brought in, but it can be a disadvantage because we definitely have the participation trophy mentality, that they want to basically be instantly success without the work. So you have to work through that, but that's what everyone said. You interview them and you can tell pretty quickly. So, but I definitely embrace the young energy.
Okay, so really quickly, because unfortunately we're out of time. Next year, market's going up, staying the same, or going down?
Same, up and down a little bit, but for the most part, same.
We're trending a more balanced market. We hit low inventory in February of 2013. Inventory has doubled since then, but we're still in a seller's market. We have under 2 months inventory.
Yep.
It's going to stay that way.
Greg?
Small increase.
Small increase. Okay.
Agree with Greg.
Awesome. Let's give these guys a huge round of applause.